Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Tamara. Today we are discussing our April Buddy Read thriller title. If you would like to see this in video format without ad breaks, you'll need to head on over to Patreon and sign up. Along with the ad-free podcast episodes, you'll gain access to after shows, reading vlogs, and other exclusive content. If you're not into Patreon and you happen to be listening on Spreaker, you too can have access to the after shows and other content in audio only. If you prefer videos, including reading vlogs, which require video, you should check out Patreon instead. Join me and my two co-hosts over on the Book Clubs app for even more book chats. Please subscribe and like the podcast wherever you're listening. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me everywhere at Shelf Addiction. Joining me today is feature co-host Classy from the Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tamara. How are you?
Girl, I'm fine.
That's a loaded question.
I'm living. How are you?
As the old folks say, I'm kicking but not high.
All right, girl. Tell everyone where they can find you online.
You can find me at Classy Green 1 on Instagram, Classy Green on Facebook and X, and Bookish Virtual Assistant on all of those social media platforms.
Awesome. I still pause to say X. I still want to say Twitter.
I know. Because it still is. But anywho.
Everyone still calls it Twitter anyway.
I know. It's just him. I think he's the only one that says that.
Let's begin. Today we are discussing the book None of This Is True, written by Lisa Jewell. The audiobook is narrated by 10 different narrators, so I won't be saying them all. Let's just say it's a full cast. It was published on August 8th, 2023 by Atria Books and Simon & Schuster Audio in the U.S. The hardcover is 380 pages, and the unabridged audio is 10 hours and 20 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Yes. Celebrating her 45th birthday at her local pub, popular podcaster Alex Summers crosses paths with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are, in fact, birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, this time outside Alex's children's school. Josie has been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She is, she tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds her unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep making the podcast. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie has been hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has moved her way into Alex's life and into her home. But as quickly as she arrived, Josie disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her family and her family's lives under mortal threat. Who is Josie Fair, and what has she done?
Dun, dun, dun. What has she done? Okay, so as we do, I have a couple things I want to start with first, but of course we're going to do our high-level comments before that. So what did you think, Classy?
When the story ended, I was like, so whose story do I believe? Roxy and Aaron, or Josie's story? What was true and what was a lie? The author kind of left us with another mystery cliffhanger. I was like, what the hell?
I think I'm choosing to believe the children. I think there may have been some lie in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't telling the whole truth, but they were telling more of the truth than Josie was. That's my guess.
Okay.
Now, we don't know, again, because the author kind of left it up to our discretion. Where were you leaning at the end?
At the end, I started leaning towards Josie, especially with the killing of Brooke. Because Jewell left us little nuggets that showed the violent tendency of Brooke. She broke her sister's arm. She got into fights at school. She punched Brooke. Um, she had violent tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
And once it was revealed of kind of like why that relationship ended, I was kind of like, she killed her girlfriend.
Because she didn't want to leave with her?
I mean, this girl was violent. I mean, both of her children.
She was, but this is the twist on that
Okay.
that made me think that she didn't do it.
Okay.
Or maybe she did do something, but her mother finished it off,
Okay.
right? Because the sister, her older sister, had claimed that she removed herself from speaking to her mother and she put herself in the room because she was fearful of her mother. She
Okay.
did not say anything about being fearful of her sister, and she came to her sister's defense saying it was an accident. To me, she did
Yeah.
not sound like my sister murdered somebody.
True. Okay. I'll give you
So
that.
I'm thinking it's maybe possible that she shoved her or something happened. And I feel like Josie has it in her to murder or get rid of a body or, because I feel like she did that to their father wholeheartedly. She killed her and tied up her eldest daughter. The daughter didn't tie herself up.
No. But another reason why I'm leaning towards Roxy killing Brooke is because why would she keep saying to Walt? Is it Walter? No, Walter is. Is Walter her husband or Pat? No, Pat is the mom.
Ooh.
Josie's husband. What was his name?
Oh,
Walter. He was Walter. Nathan is Alex's husband. But she kept telling Walter, I'm going to tell. I need to tell. I need to tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, and he kept saying, no, stop. Or, he didn't want her to.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought is, why would he want her to not tell on herself?
Well, because he did love her, he did tolerate her, and supposedly he helped to get rid of that body.
Yep.
So if you tell on you, you have to tell on me.
True. Very true.
So I think he was just really looking out for number one more than her exactly. But it's like, now I get what you're saying, because if it was the daughter, he would protect her.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew he had to be around to protect his kids from her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think that it's possible that there was some kind of the blame probably wasn't fully Josie's.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do believe there is some truth in every lie that she did tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I also felt like here was a mother who was protecting her child. Her daughter killed Brooke, and she was protecting her by covering up for her. That's how I felt at the end.
See, that still kind of conflicts with the way that Josie treated her children. Hearing the story, now again, we have to trust them, right? Trusting them means that, she talked about how she wasn't really homeschooling her when she should have. She talked about, her being jealous of the girls and the dad's relationship.
That's Aaron's version. Again, that's what I was saying with this author and this unreliable narrator.
But when would Roxy and Aaron would got together to talk about this? Because I was looking for a moment when they could have been together. I was looking for it.
Who, when Roxy and Aaron? I mean, they grew up together.
No, I mean after. So Roxy had quote unquote been gone.
Right.
This whole thing happened supposedly, with the father and her getting tied up while Roxy was gone.
Right.
So I was waiting to see if Roxy was around somewhere because, she thought she was seeing her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josie thought she was seeing Roxy, but it never came to fruition that she was really actually there. I kept looking for clues to indicate that Roxy somehow had a hand in this.
A hand in what?
A hand in the murder of her father and tying up her sister, which
I knew that didn't happen.
Which would have made me think something else about the girlfriend, but it never came. It never happened. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't believe Roxy was involved. The only true thing that I do believe is Roxy killed her girlfriend. That's the only thing I believe as far as from Josie. I do get what you're saying as far as not believing, because Josie set herself up to not be believed.
Because of her lying.
Yeah, her constant lying. But this was like the one thing that I think was true. That was, one thing at the end that it kind of made me think like,
You know what though? Now that two things could be true, right?
At the same time. Mm-hmm.
Roxy could have accidentally killed her girlfriend and then the mother and the father covered.
Yeah.
But that doesn't explain Erin's reaction to her mother.
No.
And then Erin later, after she came to, realized what was what, she went and moved in with Roxy. So again, if she was fearful of her, why in the hell? You're a grown ass adult with money. Why would you move in with her? So something about that doesn't quite click all the way.
Right.
If she's, and I kept asking throughout this book, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with Erin? Like, Josie would say, "Oh, I went to her door," and talk about the smells coming out of the room and all this stuff. I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with Erin? What is wrong with her? Like, why won't we see her? What is happening?
She was just a gamer who stayed in that damn room. It probably did stink, but I don't think it stunk.
But she's eating baby food. I'm like, what the hell is going on with that girl? Like, something is wrong, but what is it?
Yeah. That's true. But the thing is that even though Erin wasn't afraid of Roxy, here's my thing with Roxy and her tendency to be violent.
Mm-hmm.
It was obvious she was a violent person. Breaking her sister's arm probably was accidental, because Erin said that. But the fact still remains that she broke her sister's arm.
Mm-hmm.
And to break an arm is not like I just shoved her and oops, she tripped. You see what I mean?
Well,
but her sister knew, but her sister did realize that she didn't mean it on purpose. But when you are violent like that, in that click, it's like all of a sudden, I was mad, I did it, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, like Florida Evans, damn. I didn't broke my sister's arm. And now she's regretting what she did. And she probably was like, I'm sorry. And her sister realized, she just flips out every once in a while. She really didn't mean it, but she still has that underlying violent tendency. And I think that's the same thing that happened with Brooke. Brooke said, I'm not going with you. And all of a sudden, she's probably thinking, this is the love of my life. We're going to run away together. And this says no. And she snaps off. She goes, fades to black. And all of a sudden, when she comes to, she has killed somebody.
And then runs away.
And right. I mean, because now she's covered. I get the part where you're saying and runs away, but now she has killed somebody and they've covered up for her.
So she got kicked out of school, right? So she couldn't finish. So she had no reason to stay, which is like the reason why she wanted to leave to begin with.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, so what I'm going to do, audience, friends,
I know, right? I
on
love this.
Spotify, there is going to be a poll. Who do you think killed, what's her name? Brooke. Did you, and one of the answers are going to be Roxy. It's going to be Josie. And I'm going to put other. If I can pick a third one, I'll put someone else.
Okay.
I mean, it couldn't really be anyone else, but I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Right.
And I want to see. So if you've read this book, I want to know,
Who
do you think Classy is right or I am right? Although we kind of come in the middle too. We also say
because two
it could
things
have
can
been
be
a
true.
combination. Or maybe I'll put the third is other, like as in two people had a hand in it kind of thing.
Right. Well, there's definitely some accessory to the crime. And I mean, it was obvious that they loved their dad and their dad loved them. There was a
He was a good
close,
father.
yeah, he was a good father to them. And I believe that he would have done any and everything to protect his daughter. And he did love crazy ass Josie.
So, okay, so two things can be true about the father as well.
Right.
So, when Josie starts telling Alex her story, we quickly fall into this realm of, we figure out that Josie dated him as an 18-year-old and she started talking to him as a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Like he gave her a present for her birthday or some mess and they were kind of hanging out. She was going to the bar. Now, of course, in the UK, you can drink younger than in the United States. They don't have a 21 limit. So this is in the UK, y'all. So,
right.
But he was giving a under 18-year-old alcohol. He was grooming her.
Oh, definitely.
And Josie felt extreme anger about that. Even though she might not have shared with Walter that she felt that way, she did feel that way.
Yeah.
And I also think that Josie is a liar. And I also think that she probably has been abusing her own children and running amok. So Walter was protecting his kids from her. So I do think Walter was a good dad and he was also a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I have totally agree with you on that. Regardless of what the mom said, because the mom was like, she stole my man from me. She was a 16-year-old siren, basically. That don't quote. That is not what the mother said.
She basically said that though.
Yeah,
in a roundabout way.
Yeah,
she blamed her daughter.
Right. And regardless of what you feel, Walter was an old ass man.
He was in his 40s, dude. In his 40s.
Thank you.
And I feel like there is no way in hell an 18-year-old girl could seduce a 40-year-old man.
Nope.
He knew what he was doing.
Yep.
And that's my biggest issue with this book is that I feel like the author did not follow through with the theme of him being a pedophile. She allowed the other characters to victim blame.
Yeah.
And it felt like the author was changing the point of view when it came to Josie. And I'm okay with her being a bad person, but let's not excuse what happened. Let's not erase it because she's a liar.
Yep.
That happened.
Exactly. That I struggle. When you want to say struggle, the struggle bus. Because I don't give two damns what you say about her being a seductress or whatever.
I don't care.
That man was what, like 20
the goods. And as an adult, he should have said, "Get away from me, little girl."
Thank you. Exactly. And he went from giving her drinks to marrying her. No. The power dynamics between those two relationships. And I felt like, now, if we want to talk about anything, she did this poorly. Poorly. And why I almost And this kind of ties into my feeling of kind of believing Josie at certain points. Because
Okay.
here you have this young girl who married this older man. And I believe she married him to escape her mother.
She
Because her
did, because
mother,
her mother was trash.
right. And you know, in here you got that that generational trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Mama put trauma on this child basically in the womb. You know, she didn't really want her. She act like she didn't know she was pregnant, whatever. And she may have. But you know, so Josie is traumatized from the beginning. And here she finds a savior. Here's an escape to get away from crazy ass Pat who really doesn't want me. And
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden she has come into herself and said, "You know what? I don't want to live this way anymore." This woman lived in blue jeans her whole damn time because she was stuck.
Mm-hmm. She was stuck.
She was stuck in that era of meeting this man. And now she has come into the realization of, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I need to come to my senses. Now, her taking her daughter's money, that, and that was the other part. You know, and I think too, with her being a victim, lying became a part of her survival, I would say, because it was like she needed to do certain, you know, or just kind of live certain things to survive as a teenager. You know, she was already ridiculed in her town
Mm-hmm.
because they lived in, I found out this council or estate or whatever is basically public housing. It's
Okay.
like the projects. It's like Section 8. So she was ridiculed. She, you know, she stole her mom's boyfriend. She got married to this older man. So yeah, and even her husband said she makes up stories to fit
Yeah.
her narrative. And I believe it's because
I believe him though.
yeah, I do believe. Oh,
I
definitely.
believe him.
She definitely um made up stories to fit her narrative because she really didn't have a childhood. She never really I think she made up
Yeah.
these stories to make herself seem better than what it was because she fucked up. I mean, she fucked up royally
She
by
did in
marrying.
a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And the author showed us from pretty much day one that she was not someone to be trusted.
Yeah. She did.
Immediately,
Yeah.
I got the she's creepy vibe.
Mhm.
And then how she just infiltrated Alex's house and her family, and she's stealing shit out of her house. Why are you keeping trinkets? What is that?
Like you're a murderer. When she
Yes.
started stealing shit, I'm like, "Oh, damn.
Yeah. And
She's
it's like,
killing
do you want to
folks."
be her? Why are you stealing soap and
So
jewelry
I know.
and
The so
photos that her kids drew, pictures? Like,
yeah,
she was
you were trying
stealing.
to be her.
And honestly, Alex was an idiot. And I feel like
That was an
Alex
understatement.
was so hungry for a good podcast, she let it go because she had a blaring red flag pretty immediately.
Mhm.
Her nephew said, "Isn't that your friend on the camera looking in our windows? Look at this. She took something out the recycling bin."
I'm sorry. Soon as you're peeking in my window and then your
Yeah.
reply, Block City.
Yeah, I'm like, never speak to me again because you're crazy. I don't know what you got going on, but you're looking in my windows when I'm not home and you're taking stuff out of my recycling bin. So
Exactly.
that is like murderous 101.
Yeah. Cause soon as I saw that, I'm duly noting and then I'm going back and thinking like, wait a minute. Isn't it's kind of funny how when I'm at the park, she's at the park. When I'm, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like, how do we run across each other all the time when we basically live on two opposite sides of the city, you
Oh,
know?
see, I thought they were in the same neighborhood, but
No,
some
I don't.
blocks away.
Well, but still, I mean, because Alex, when you thought about the times when they would come over,
Mm-hmm.
wherever Alex lived, they were high end. Her husband was a plumber. Walter, I think they said was a plumber. And when they described the homes, I felt like they were on two opposite ends. It may not be as far as I'm thinking, like you said, maybe a few blocks. I mean, it
Or
was
a
the same
mile,
mile.
even within
Yeah,
a
maybe
mile.
mile. Because it was the same school district, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean much.
Right.
Yeah, but as far as social status and salary and all that, it was a big difference.
It's like I can think about the schools in my neighborhood. On one side, you have these really nice big houses, and a half a mile down the road, you have a different kind of house.
Exactly. Yes.
So someone could walk a half a mile to my neighborhood or wherever.
Yeah.
From somewhere else. I'm like, hey, neighbor.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Yeah. And then you got people who get bussed in. So and I'm not sure how it is over in the UK, but I just realized, like, when they came in, she was talking about the stainless steel appliances, and even Walter, when he came in, he was like, you got a beautiful home. I mean, the freaking shed that she had her podcast in,
a $20,000 she shed, basically.
Shout out to Nathan.
But you know what, though? They poor money management, because at the end of that, they were out of money. When Nathan died, she was out of money.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Like, can you take the shed
but
back?
Again, right. Right. But that's where, that parallel of these two characters. Here you have these two women who basically, and I think that's what Josie was trying to show Alex, that we're kind of similar, except for you got money and I don't. We both have husbands that are kind of shitheads. Yeah. Except for, yours has more money and mine's don't. And yeah.
Her husbands are not equal. Their husbands are not equal.
No. But that's
not by any means.
But that's what Josie was trying to kind of show her, that, us women, we need to stand up for ourselves. But Alex was accepting of a lot of shit.
So let me just speak on this, because Nathan was a functional alcoholic. He was a binge drinker.
Yeah.
And I have had personal experience with a binge drinker that is a functional alcoholic. In my early 20s, I dated somebody for 8 years that was that way. And I swear to you, the stuff that was happening in this book, he would just fall down somewhere. He would get all the way home and not make it inside because he would just pass out in his car. He would not be doing anything wrong. He was not with some girl. He would just fall out wherever because he was so drunk. And it was a thing where that's how I could understand Nathan, what was happening with Nathan. There are people, you take one, they're perfect. They'd be good all week. You take one drink, and you're off the rails. There's no one drink. Once you have one, you have 20 and you're laid up somewhere.
Yeah. Oh.
So I understood.
You could relate.
I could understand Alex, like, okay, so yeah, this isn't great. I kind of hate it, but he's a good dad. But he gets his work done. But this, but that. You know what I'm saying? So I could not see Alex as dumb as Josie saw her. Like, Josie wanted Alex to just drop her man and to move on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not that simple. They had kids. Now we didn't have kids, obviously. I don't have no kids.
But they had history. They had,
Right.
But
eventually you get there, you get tired.
Yeah. And I think that's what the author was showing too, that everything wasn't perfect in Alex's life, which Josie thought at first. But until Josie started kind of pulling back the layers on Alex's life, she was like, oh shit.
But she crazy.
She is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But she kind of felt like once she started, pulling the layers back in her mind, she felt like her and Alex were on the same level when it came to men.
Why are you trying to help her? Why are you trying to help her? Y'all two peas in a pod. Just complain about your men together. Why are you trying to solve her problem?
Yeah, and her solution, I'm like, mind your business. Mind the business
That's
that
why I'm
pays
like,
you.
this is that what's it called? Single white female shit right here. What's
Girl,
happening? Does
you
she
know
want to
what?
wear your skin, Alex? What is it?
I'm going to tell you one thing. Josie wasn't spending the night at my damn house. We will be calling the police. We will be calling whatever the heck they call them in the UK, detectives, the DA, whatever. We will be calling them, and you will be going home. Or not going home, but maybe a show. I mean, you know what I mean? And
A
if you
shelter
did,
or
it was only
something.
one day. You will not. Soon as I saw you wearing the same shit that I gave you 2 days ago, and you have clothes, and I have a washing machine. Like, this was the one moment, Alex, you should listen to your husband.
She should have. She should have never. Okay, let's take a quick break. I want to continue talking about this
It's a
specific
lot.
topic.
This book is there's so much to unpack.
Yes, so let's take a quick break. By listening to the commercials, you are supporting the podcast. And don't forget to check out the book review journal available right now. We'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite bookish item. Okay, we're back. So if Josie came to my house looking beat up and acting like she didn't want to call the police or whatever they call it in the UK, I would have been like, I'm sorry. I'll give you tonight to get your shit together, but we're calling in the morning.
Or a hotel. Like, let's call her a hotel.
I don't know if I would turn her away, like showing up like that, but the next day she would have been gone. She would have got one night out of me, maybe. And she would have been gone.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, I would have made up a lie immediately.
Yeah.
Why she couldn't stay.
And here's the other thing, too, about that story. Leon, like, listen to children and animals, please. Please. Leon got the creepy vibes from this woman. Who is that?
Yeah, listen to your kids.
She was looking in the window or standing outside your she shed when you were showing her husband. Come on, mama.
Yes, you showing her husband in there and you eavesdropping. What's going on?
Peeking in the window, number two.
I would have been like, are you kidding me? What the? No.
And even her husband was like, something's missing. He's like, probably your creeper friend.
Yeah, he called it out. He said she probably stole it.
Noted. But like you said, she just thought this was going to launch her podcast. And I mean, it was. It was exciting. I mean, when you think about it, the recording of this podcast, the way Josie set it up, it was like every recording, she slowly revealed something each damn time.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it was alluring. I get it, but there was just so many things. And I get the author played on this, but it was like, listen to kids and animals. They're pretty damn smart. And Leon was a young child. You know what I mean? You pay
attention to children because they have good intuition.
Yeah, the older girl didn't she was just kind of
Mm-hmm.
But that little one, I don't care how much time he sat in front of that electronic device, he still picked up on Josie's badass vibes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I found myself extremely frustrated with Alex and her lack of ability to take control of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I could not understand. And honestly, Josie was planning on staying even after she said my sisters are coming until she found proof in the husband's suit that he's snorting a little cocaine.
Yeah. Because, he told her you need a plan. She was like, she said, a plan for your ass.
My plan is to stay right here until she found that. She's like, I got a new plan.
I know.
I'm going to show you how awful your husband is.
Like, My thought was when she found an extra room in the house or, like in the study, like a bed or something,
Mm-hmm.
how the hell are you going to tell me, oh, I can stay? You got an extra room, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here?
I'd have been just like that too. Like, look, I'm sorry that happened to you, but you don't live here. You don't live here, and you're not going to live
The
here.
whole tone would have been totally different. Like, I've been nice.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Your dog is shitting and pissing.
That would have, you know what? Honestly, if she had been there that long, that would have been the end. Your dog is dragging shit all around my house.
And not just that, you feed him the good shit. That stuff she was feeding, that wasn't like some little wieners. You are feeding your dog prime
human food.
And now he has diarrhea. And then he had diarrhea in the bed. You're done. You and Fred.
She fed him that dip. Y'all know the dip, the Mediterranean dip made with eggplant, baba ganoush or whatever.
Yes.
That was what she fed the dog.
Girl,
like, I'm never eating
when
that
she
again.
said he did it in the bed, you're done.
Yeah.
Our friendship is done. We're done.
What friendship? Our working relationship
it's
is
over.
done.
It's over.
I would have. Okay, so to be fair, in the end, she did get a stellar piece of work out of it. But at what price?
I did not expect Nathan to die.
I did.
Did you?
I did, because I'm like, first off, that is one thing I can give credit for. These true crime segments had me feeling like I was watching something on Netflix, because I could visualize him leaving the hotel. You see these things all the time.
Yeah.
Someone leaves the hotel. You see him on camera. They're talking to someone in a car you can't see.
Yeah.
They get in the car anyway, even though you could tell they don't really want to get in. They get in and you never see their ass again. They're gone.
Yeah.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Unalived.
But I knew it. I was hopeful.
No, the minute they described him getting into that car after arguing in that whole evening, where is Alex? I want Alex. He drunk. He still want his wife.
Girl, that hurt my heart.
Yes. And then the minute they described him getting in that car, I said, he's
gone.
Unalived.
I was hopeful because I felt like, it was one of those things where I knew that she was capable of that, but I was just hopeful that she wouldn't, because she cared so much about Alex. Like, would you really do that if you liked someone?
Well, she claimed it was an accident.
Whatever, bitch. She did.
She claimed it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, that hurt.
But I think she got rid of him so she could be her friend, but it didn't work out the way she wanted.
And then she constantly like, maybe we can get back to where we were. Never.
No, bitch.
Bitch, you killed my husband.
I never want to see your ass
again.
My
life.
Your ass is grass if I see you.
On site.
You don't want to run into me, because it's going to be a fight and you're going to lose.
Girl, when she called her a basic motherfucking bitch. I wrote that shit down. Matter of fact, I rewound that a couple of times. I was like, oh, now I get it. Alice got some gumption in there, because she was like, I'm calling your ass out. Call me, bitch. She's like, you're a basic motherfucking bitch. And it basically was like, call me.
She said,
ring me up. Because you basically are calling her out.
But that shows me that Alex's line was the death of her husband.
Yes.
That was the line?
Yeah.
That's a far line.
Yeah.
That's a very far line. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
For you to get some gumption?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh. Because now you have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing. You have nothing to lose either. So yeah, call her a basic bitch.
Yeah. But of course, her podcast ended up being very successful. It went viral really quickly. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, hey, Netflix original series.
Mm-hmm.
So she got her hit. But the name of it, hi, I'm your birthday twin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the creep level. So those were the first words that Josie uttered to her in the bathroom. Hi, I'm your birthday twin.
But I get it though.
If someone said that to me in the bathroom,
no,
I'd be like, what do you mean? I don't know. And I guess she was nice enough, right? And then her sister came in, interrupted them. And
but
so
they had a few drinks too. They had a few drinks.
It seemed pretty innocent.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed innocent until I run into her again.
Right. That was the thing. Like when I run into you too many damn times, you're just not my birthday twin. You're a creepy woman. Because I don't know you. For one, I just meet you and then all of a sudden we're crossing paths. This is not kismet. But that's just me.
I would have, if I saw her again one time, wasn't that the first time she saw her where she tried to get her to come to her job and get some stuff altered? Because I have to ask you a question.
Well, she saw her at the school. She saw her
wasn't that then?
Yeah, she saw her at their kid's school and she was walking Fred and she said, I have an idea. And she brought that to her and meet me at my job at the alteration shop.
So what I would have done right then, I'd be like, okay, girl, I'll try. You'll never see my ass again.
No.
I took a different route to bring my kids to school just in case because I'm suspicious of people.
Heck it, girl. Say less. What? I am
you never see me again.
Suspect everyone, trust no one, as my sister would say.
I mean, my goodness. You heard all those crazy women's stories, Alex. Do you not watch Netflix yourself? Shit. Do you not watch True Crime yourself? My God. Like, this is present day, essentially, this is happening.
Yeah.
2020,
exactly.
2019.
Right.
Because then COVID, 2020.
Right. And here's the thing, like, crazy doesn't get less crazy.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like, crazy is crazy. All day, every day. It does not, if anything, it gets crazier. It doesn't get less.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of the virus, so this was Lisa Jewell's COVID book.
Yeah, I saw, right? Like it seems like a lot of authors have their little COVID book.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, like enjoyed that little section where she kind of threw that in there. Cause I don't know about you, but did you kind of go back to like those times and you were like, yup? Or you started kind of thinking back to what was I doing during?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't writing a bestseller, that's for sure.
That part.
Doing that.
That part. But yeah, it did. It made me reminisce when they would go like December 2020. And I was like, ooh, I remember. Yeah. And, those kind of, the thing about COVID, those are like little landmarks in your life where you do remember certain things. I can.
10 years, 20 years from now, people are going to remember that time.
Yeah.
They're not going to forget it anytime soon.
No, December 20.
Everything kind of flipped on its head for several years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just batshit crazy.
That girl was crazy.
Yeah. But again, it was, like we were talking about, two things can be, what did we say? Two things can be true at the same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. It's hard to kind of tell. And what I will say that Lisa Jewell did, is it Lisa Jewell? It is Lisa Jewell.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Jewell did with this book is she made the unreliable narrator. She did an awesome job. She did a phenomenal job with that. Because here you have basically you had a teenage girl who was groomed by a pedophile, regardless of what her mother says, who I think at one point was like, you know what? I was groomed. And she didn't realize it, and now she's trying to change her life. But the setup to this change was all the lies that she had put in place prior to her cusp of, in her life of changing her life. But she had already became known as a liar to her family.
She was a liar.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, a big liar.
mhm.
And I think that's the thing is with those
And a thief. She a liar, a thief,
mhm,
and she can't be trusted. So
yeah.
this leads us back to the beginning of our conversation. Like, no, just because she says her daughter lied and it was her, why would I believe you off rip? Why? What reason would I have to just take you at your word when you've
Yeah.
displayed yourself as this? And it could be, but unfortunately, when you show yourself to be a liar, people just don't believe you. They don't
They
believe
don't.
you.
They don't. But
And you could be telling the truth. You could be.
exactly. And I think that was the thing about this book is that she possibly could be telling
Mhm.
the truth. But it's unbelievable because you've told so many lies that we
Mhm.
can't differentiate the lie from the truth.
Right.
And I think I had a little sympathy for her because she was groomed. And at certain points in her life, I believe she used lies to kind of protect herself and her image or her persona to kind of make herself out to be something that she wasn't.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
do agree with that, but I also think at the ripe old age of what were they celebrating? The birthday
45.
45. You should understand you have to take responsibility for your actions as an adult.
Mhm.
Yeah, you probably should have had some therapy. You've had
Oh,
some things to work through, but you can't. I understand how your past kind of influences your future, but that doesn't make it okay. It
no.
doesn't give you the green light to go around acting like a Looney Tune and killing people and stealing and lying. That doesn't make it okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you hear about, like, another extreme, you hear about people who were, molested, right? Some people grow up just fine and they never do that to anyone else.
All right.
And you have other people that are not just fine and they go off and become serial killers and do all other kind of crazy shit. So
Mhm.
at some point, there's a part in the road. Who are you going to be? And that's why I'm like, I never just give a pass to someone because something shitty happened to you,
Yeah.
especially at 45 fucking years old. So
Yeah.
I kind of like, I feel bad for what happened to her, but you're doing this as a 45-year-old woman with grown children. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I do, yeah. But I do appreciate that Lisa tried to use that tactic, except for the pedophiles thing. Like,
She
throwing
didn't
it.
acknowledge it fully like she should have.
No,
That's
because
the problem.
Walter, regardless if he was a great father or not, as Josie said, and I think that was like her little empowerment. You're a fucking pedophile. It was like she all of a sudden
They just blurted out.
that it came to
Word vomit.
realization to her that all these years.
No, she just held her tongue all those years. She's been
Mhm.
known it. She's been working up to this. She told
Yeah.
Alex that. I
Mhm.
just think now she was ready to take action. Like something changed when she
Oh yeah,
turned
something
45
clicked.
and she was
Yes.
ready to move out,
You know
move on.
what? You hit the nail on the head there.
Mhm.
Something clicked at 45. Cuz
Mhm.
you know what? Not all of us come to that turning point in our lives. And it seemed like she was just like, "You know what? I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. I just need." It was like the podcast was like a confessional to her. But again, like we said, she had laid the foundation of so many lies. It was just like,
And it's
and
so
like the daughter
crazy.
said, no matter what you say, I'm just gonna say it's you. And that part, like that part right there, Tamara, was just like,
Well, that's her opinion. That's what she said. That's what
mm-hmm.
Josie said. She said.
Yeah. And that right there gave me that, if you were a juror, Is it true? What's true?
Well, I mean, okay, so maybe.
Let's go. Let's go.
But
Come on,
maybe.
Tamara.
But like, okay, so thinking about when we went through, like, we don't have any trace evidence from that original killing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything. We just have 2 night and day stories. That is it. But if you were to say, if I were a juror and let's say, she goes down for the murder of her husband, which she murdered him. She did. Because also she says, things. And actually, Alex started to question her about her story because it wasn't jiving.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Oh, I had my pajamas on, but you came with these clothes that have blood on them. What are you saying?
Came with the same dress that you left with blood." Yeah.
She's got the time wrong. She's like messing stuff up. She murdered her husband and tried to leave her child for dead. So if I had heard that, and then later somebody told me that no, she's saying she didn't do that first killing. Yes, she killed this guy. And yes, she did kill another guy, but she didn't kill that first guy. She didn't. I'm like, bitch, please. You going to jail. You going to jail anyway. You going to jail.
You're not gonna give a reasonable doubt.
Guess what? I'm like, guess what?
You lumping it all together.
Roxy, you won the jackpot because you got away with murder. Bye.
You basically was like, she fucked up 2 out of 3.
Look, Roxy, if you did that, girl, you were a child. It doesn't make it right. But because your mother is so horrible and is a murderer of 2 other people, guess what? You just got away with murder.
You just hit the lotto.
It's your lucky day. The evidence. The evidence is gone. It's been so long.
Right, because I think they said the dress was like fucking dust.
Yeah, you touched it and it turned to dust.
Yeah.
The trace evidence was gone. So you got a known liar and killer versus someone who says she was abused.
Yeah.
Who are you going to believe?
I know. And that was the thing. It was like, it was so hard because she possibly didn't. But you're a known fucking liar.
Yes, she possibly did. But we'll never know. We'll never know.
No. Which, when I was done with this book, I was like, Lisa Jewell, what the hell? Like, you left us. Now it's just a cliffhanger. But,
I don't like that sometimes. Sometimes I don't like that feeling of something being left open-ended.
Yeah.
It definitely does create a lot of conversation around that ending. But sometimes, especially with true crime, I don't like it to be unfinished. I get annoyed with stories that I hear and they're like, and they never found the killer. I'm like, ugh. Who did it? Was it this person or that person? Who did it? That kind of thing annoys me. But the only thing I think that kind of let it go was that like I said, Josie was awful enough for me to be like, even if she didn't do the first one, oh fucking well.
Yeah. Right. and you know what? We can agree on that. In the end, I felt like what you had done previously outweighs that Brooke kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or not kind of thing, but that killing, like, even if you didn't kill Brooke, you fucked up royally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know what kind of absolution I can give you because you fucked up royally.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have that reasonable doubt, but like that scale is just like,
do you have enough reasonable doubt to say not guilty?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I questioned that, but in the end, if I had to, she's going down for all of it.
See, and that would be like, now, if she was a person that never killed anyone else, had not done those other things, then I think I would have waited.
Exactly.
Let's dissect this a little more.
Right. But no, Heifer, you killed Nathan.
And your husband.
I accidentally gave him a higher dose. He was just so loud, I had to give him more.
Yeah, because he's a person who used drugs and alcohol. So of course you have to give him more to do what you think he should do. But you gave him too much.
Yep.
And now he died.
Yep. So you hired an actress to lure him.
You lured him away, which is, what do you call that? It is premeditated.
Exactly.
You lured him away.
Yep. So you did that, and then you killed Nathan. You killed your husband. You tied your daughter up.
She almost died.
Yeah.
Remember? If she hadn't been drinking dirty mop water, she would have died.
She wasn't drinking just mop water. She was drinking she was sucking on the strands of the mop. And I was disgusting. That was fucking sour.
And she don't even remember doing it.
I cannot stand a sour. Folks, let me just tell you something. I can't stand a sour dish towel.
Right.
Let alone a sour ass mop.
Look, the only thing I could think was she had to be so desperate. And she blocked it out. She don't remember doing it. She had to be so desperate. I can't imagine being in that situation because I would just...
You had to be to survive, to suck on... Ooh.
Yeah. That was so gross. Lisa Jewell, why you do that to us?
Girl.
It's gross.
Ooh. That... So...
And she probably inhaled some chemicals with it. You know, bops aren't she was fully rinsed out.
No, and all the bacteria and all the growth. That's
why her ass
so you
was
did all
unconscious.
that, and then we're really not sure if you did kill Brooke or not. So you have at least 3 lives on the line here.
That was attempted murder on her daughter. Her daughter had another day she would have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
They said they didn't think she was alive at first. She was in there for a week tied up.
Yeah, and you just sitting somewhere in some house chilling. But I thought it was funny at the end. So here's my thought on the ending.
Mm-hmm.
When she's on the bus listening to 2 women who were watching the Netflix series,
mm-hmm.
And thinking that the daughters were in on it. And she just rides off into the sunset. I was like, is this some damn Set It Off shit? I know Lisa probably doesn't know the movie Set It Off. Who rode off in the bus? Was it Jada Pinkett Smith? Or was it Vivica?
I don't even remember, girl. That's how long it's been since I seen that movie.
But that's all I thought. Like, she was in the bus looking out the window, like,
I just remember going off into the shootout and everybody died.
Yeah, that's all I thought of was, the Set It Off ending where she's just in the bus and she's just riding off into the sunset to live her life. She put her without Fred. Else. Heifer.
So this is the question. Do you think that Josie will just grow old in obscurity and die? Or do you think she's going to latch on to someone else?
Somebody else? Because she strives for attention. She lives for attention. She needs validation. She needs attention.
She will
a quiet life is not for her.
It's only going to take so long. She will be caught.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. She will not be able to, even sitting there listening to those women talk.
Oh, she was itching. I bet she was just like, I just want to say something. I just want to say something.
Mad with that podcast. How dare you?
I just want us to.
I'm awful. You are, bitch. You are.
Basic bitch is what you called me? Can't we just get back to where we were?
No.
I'm like, oh no,
we cannot.
You're psycho. You're psycho.
No, we cannot, crazy.
But no, I think she's just gonna find some other avenue. She's gonna latch on to somebody else somehow, some way. But no, she's not gonna just lie low and live in obscure. No.
I'm surprised she only took 10 grand. If there was 40 grand in that account, I'm surprised she didn't take all of it. You can't live off 10 grand.
No.
Not in 2020.
No, and be a seamstress. It's because she was just a seamstress.
Mm-hmm.
Part-time.
I'm surprised she didn't clean that account out, honestly.
Part-time.
Mm-hmm. Whew. Yeah, so, yeah, that was crazy. And for the first time ever, you guys, so neither one of us had our rating when we came on this podcast. I think the first time ever, both of us didn't have a rating when we sat down today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not
But
at all.
before we do the rating, and there was 2 more things I wanted to cover. I thought that the title was really tongue in cheek.
Oh, definitely.
None of this is true. Literally, none of this is true.
Yeah.
And none of Josie's story was true.
No.
It's like 2 things. None of this is true.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
she
meta.
mentions it in the story at the end. I was like, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's kind of meta a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Didn't like the cover. The cover was just
okay,
like...
let's take a look at the cover. So this cover in my hand, if you're on Patreon, you can see it. This is the UK cover. When I was in the UK, I picked this up.
I saw that on
the UK cover.
On
and it's
your
very,
Instagram. Or was it TikTok? I was like, go ahead, Tamara.
Yeah. I'm like, this is my first UK cover. Usually all my books are the US cover. But this cover is very different from the US cover.
Yeah, the US cover stinks. I'm sorry.
But the US cover, it looked like it was a neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm. Upside down neighborhood and a right side up neighborhood.
Right. And so this looks like it's more of a cityscape with 2 women on it.
I like that cover better.
It is prettier.
Yeah, I like it a lot better.
Her lies will kill you.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yep. That is that one little sentence says a lot.
Yeah, I do like the UK cover better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, why they went and did such a polar opposite cover for the US. Like, that is polar opposite.
Yeah.
It's all green and dark, and
it is. And it kind of, when I think about it, the little comment I made about the 2 neighborhoods and the 2 dynamics of how Josie wanted to make it seem like they were very much alike, but they really weren't. You know, you got the upside down neighborhood and the right side up, but that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, that cover from the UK is...
Yeah, I'm looking at the other cover.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Yeah, it's
a little obscure, our US cover. I'm just
it is.
It doesn't give me anything. Like, if I would have been at the bookstore, I'd be like, It doesn't say buy me.
And honestly, when I saw this, when I was looking at all the Lisa Jewell books, and I knew what I was looking for, but I saw this and picked it up, and I said, "Wait, is this the book we're supposed to read?" And I had to look it up. I'm like, "Oh,
I think this is it. I think this is the one."
I'm like, I thought this was the title, but is it?
Yeah. And I do like the cover from the UK because it has the 2 women. Let me look at the women again, because you have one that is...
One is walking away. One is just standing there. They kind of look a little modern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, but I do like that one better. You know, like you said, with the cityscape in the background, and the women in shadow.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like that one better. But yeah, I hope we can talk about the narration of this book. I know we are running a little long.
Let's do it. We got time.
Okay, let's go. Because I can't imagine reading this in print. I don't know. I did download the Kindle. I didn't really look at it. Except for there was a few.
No, because I did try it.
No,
but I'm like,
no, they couldn't have, because this full cast and the multimedia format that they use in the audiobook, chef's kiss.
It was very good.
I think, to be honest, Tamara, I think that's the only thing that kept me pushing forward, because I felt like there were a lot of lull moments in the book, but the full cast and the production of this audiobook was superb.
Yes.
And I want to go back. Hold that thought really quick. I remember, I'm going to go back in time. I remember when we first met and you were recommending a book to me, and you recommended, oh what was the name of this book? And you were saying it was full cast and they had all this production. It was some audiobook. I got to go back and look. And you were like, yeah, there's sound effects and there's this and that. And I listened to it, but I hadn't really found an audiobook that was like that. And then this book came along and I was like, this book reminds me, it was something with a manifesto. What was the name of this book? I can't remember the name of the book, but it was something like dystopia kind of book. And it was back in what we met in like 2017, 2018.
Was it The Passage with Scott Brick?
I believe it is. Brick? I believe it might be that one.
I love The Passage by Justin Cronin as the author.
I believe that is it. I believe that. So good. I believe. No, wait.
Was it that?
No, it was another book. Gosh, and it was something with a manifesto.
Manifesto. Let me think. It must have been. I don't know. I'll think of it later.
Yeah, I have to look at the cover. But when I started listening to this and hearing all the sound effects, I was like, I haven't heard anything like this since that book you recommended. And this, I can't imagine reading this. I can't see how they pull this off in print.
I mean, to be honest, I had a little bit of a time with some of the audio too. Not the entertaining true crime parts from Netflix original series, quote unquote, because that would have music. So like I found myself every once in a while, I'd be listening and I'd kind of zone out. And then I'd hear music. I'm like, oh shit, what was the last couple sentences?
Exactly. That part.
So I agree. Music would bring me back. I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah, definitely. That part, like the podcast part, phenomenal. But the book part, I did feel like it was lulling me. It was to a point where I was just like, it was background noise, I think. But those parts where it came to the podcast and they were interviewing people, they made sure you had to pay attention. Like there was one part where somebody was interviewing, I'll just say the people who she gave Fred to.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's what I opened it to right here.
And it was really, really quiet because the male guy that was interviewing him, you really had to listen because it was quiet. Yeah. But the people who took Fred were loud.
And you can tell that they were outside.
Yes.
And it has like this little part, but in this is in dark print.
Okay.
Tim and Angel Hiddlefold Clark, current owners of Josie's dog, Fred.
Yes.
And then they're like, an interviewer asked them off mic, and then you hear all
so that was it, off mic. So that's why it was so quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was summer 2019. She just gave her dog away.
Yeah, I did. Now, the podcast part I really enjoyed, but just the other part of just the story, it did become lulling. And I had read where people were thinking this pace was really fast. I thought it was slow. I didn't see where it was fast at all.
It fluctuated for me.
Yeah.
I think the beginning, I want to say like the first 45%, I'm like, what's happening? What's this doing? Where is it going? I found myself really frustrated, even a little past 50%. I don't exactly remember where things started getting more interesting to me. I just felt yeah, go ahead.
77.
All right, then. I'm going to take your word for it because I feel like we had similar thoughts. We're like, when is this going to pick up? When is the action going to action? When is the something going to happen? It took a long time. And yeah, there was a lot of things happening, like a lot of details, a lot of crazy.
I was ticked off. 70%.
Yeah.
Chick. Lisa.
Yeah. Because I remember you got to 56%, I think, and you said, "Is it gonna get any better?" And I'm like,
I know you were just like, "I'm not giving you any information. Keep listening." And I was like, "No, she ain't gonna even give me like, she's not gonna throw me a line
because there was no line to throw."
Y'all, she sent me the shrug emoji. She was like, the shoulders was up to the. I was like, okay, all right. I don't think I asked anything else. I'm just like, okay, that was it.
anything without telling you exactly what was going to happen. But I think I did kind of indicate, well.
I know. When you did that, I was like, she said everything. She don't have to say nothing else. Okay, Tamara, I get you. But yeah, it was 77% for me before it was just like, oh. And I think that was at the point where Nathan had gone to the bar basically after Josie said, oh, Nathan, you said I need a plan. I got a plan.
I got a plan.
Yeah, that's when it picked up because it was like, oh, you want to play games. I got games.
And right going into that, or right after they interviewed the girl who was the actress, and she told the whole whole story. And she said, I thought I was sisterhood, helping somebody out, trying to catch a cheater. And she's like, he wasn't like that at all. And I feel really bad.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
But she was like, $1,000 a night. And I was like, I would have done the same thing. 1,000?
Yeah, if I was young.
A struggling actress?
Yeah.
She was a struggling actress.
And she was young as well.
Yeah. Then Josie, and then I'm going to go really quick on this. And I know we're not going to, because we're as far as our time, but Josie had said like she had came into some money from her grandparent or something like, and I was like, that was something that I had marked like, oh, so this money that she's getting to start her new life is because of basically like an inheritance from a dead parent, a grandparent. Was that true? Or was it really?
I don't think so. I think it was her daughter's money.
Mm-hmm. Again, she had laid so many lies.
Hell, I almost thought she fed the dog that on purpose, knowing the dog would shit all over that girl's house.
You too?
Yeah. I'm like, did she do that?
Because here's the thing. As a dog owner, you know what to feed your dog and what not to feed your dog. And that's rich food. That's prime food.
That's why I'm like, she must have did that on purpose. This girl's supposed to be your friend. You want to befriend her, but you doing this? That don't make no sense.
Fred shitting in the bed. You're done. You're done.
Crazy girl.
Go home. You and Walter need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Go home. I might even give you some money to figure it out. But you're not staying here. I have a number
of a great couples therapy counselor.
I will give you money to get a hotel, but you figure it out. But Fred can't stay here no more. And I love dogs, but you shitting in my bed. Your dog is shitting in my bed.
Honestly, and Alex even mentioned, have you talked to your daughter? Where's Erin?
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, she fine. I'm like, what? That makes no sense. You and your daughter ran out of this house after a crazy, horrific, violent event. And you go your separate ways?
Yeah.
Why didn't you show up here with your daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Again, Alex should have listened to Nathan.
This
is the one moment where her husband, he may have been a functional drunk, but he knew crazy. He knew crazy.
Yeah, because he wasn't an idiot. He wasn't an idiot. He was very smart about it.
He was just like,
But she was constantly weighing, well, if I do this, do I have all the footage? If I do this, she won't like me and we won't finish. So she was constantly in the back of her head ignoring flags for the sake of the podcast because she thought she had a juicy story.
Yeah. And I mean, it worked out for her in the end, but at the cost of losing your husband. The father of your children.
Kids don't have their dad anymore.
Mm-mm.
Hope that Netflix special was worth it.
I hope it bought you millions.
Yeah, it probably did, but Yeah. Okay. Should we go ahead and rate? None of this is true. Are you ready?
I don't want to rate it.
Right now, I'm still teetering.
Okay, so this might be a record. Because I don't think we've done this before where we're just kind of on the fence.
Let me just say this, you guys. So coming out of a book that I was disappointed there was no mystery, I had to look up again the definition of a thriller because this was not a mystery. We're just hearing the story of Josie and Alex, right? So the thriller is a type of mystery with As its name suggests, thrillers tend to be action-packed page turners with moments full of tension, anxiety, and fear. Without fail, they are plot-driven stories with plenty of plot twists. Okay, whereas a mystery may provide deep dive into the clues, blah, 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 blah. Thrillers give you just enough information to provide a convincing motive for the characters to get back to the action and the plot. That's from sellindorbooks.com/what is a thriller. I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. So after kind of reiterating what a thriller was and making sure that I wasn't looking for a mystery when it's a thriller,
Right.
I think I felt a little more at ease with it because, again, like, I don't always have to solve something.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily just like reading a bunch of drama without a mystery.
Right.
And there was none except for the end. It left us questioning, but not really
mystery.
Right. It's still not mystery, even though people have tagged this mystery. And the number 1 tag on Goodreads is thriller. The number 2 tag is mystery, excuse me.
Right.
So, I don't know. So I guess I would just say this is a thriller. I would not put this in the mystery category.
I wouldn't either.
Although some true crimes can be a mystery, this one is not.
No.
To me.
No. The only mystery was Brooke. I felt like this was more of a psychological thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the lies that she laid before us, you know, because we're not sure what is a lie and what is true. So yeah, I wouldn't really make this a mystery because the mystery wasn't the focal point. It was something that kind of came at the end. You know, it was more of a psychological thriller to me.
And that is one of the tags that people tagged it as on Goodreads. It's just a little further down the list, but it is there.
No mystery. Yeah, because we knew from the beginning that this chick was crazy as batshit
crazy. Jinx.
Right. If you were here, I'd pinch you. She was batshit crazy, and we knew it from the beginning. So there was no mystery to solve. We knew she would do something crazy. Yeah. But no, I would label it as psychological thriller. And I am still on the fence on my rating because I'm still kind of sitting with this because I felt like Lisa did some good things with the writing elements that she used, but I also feel like she dropped the ball, especially like a pedophile is a fucking pedophile. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah,
I'm not giving a pass. I'm not giving a pedophile a pass on shit.
I know. And I think the biggest fail, like we said, and I guess she did not dig at all into the nuance of Josie being a victim of that and the trauma of that.
You know,
so that
I agree.
Part is missing.
I totally agree. And I'm just going to be transparent as a victim, as a survivor. I won't even call myself a victim. As a survivor of this, yeah, it you know, like I did relate to her as a survivor of a pedophile. The grooming, the lies, the things you're told, so I did relate to Josie on that. But I felt like Lisa dropped the ball on this because she still tried to make Walter be likable.
Yeah, she did. It seemed like that's what she was going for.
And I'm sorry. Yeah, he could be a great father. And that's how I think I felt like I could, like she possibly was telling the truth. But her lies were so prominent in this story and so upfront that it was hard to believe her.
Yeah, she wasn't a good person.
No.
So as an adult, she wasn't a good person. We don't know what she was like as a child.
No.
We don't have a clear vision of that. But as an adult, she was not good.
No. And I think she tried to turn herself around, but she had done so much damage in the interim, to get there, that it was just hard to decipher truth from lie.
Okay. I got my rating.
Okay.
Just after that, I got it.
Okay.
I'm no longer torn. I got it.
Well, I'm glad.
How about you?
I think I am.
Should we say it on 3? I feel like we're the same.
Yeah. Let's go.
1, 2, 3. 3.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was entertaining. It was high drama, but she missed the mark in something really important.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that fast paced. It wasn't.
No, it was dragging ass. I'm just going to say it was dragging ass to me. And if you're going to put this kind of character in a book, then you need to go hard and figure out your focal point. And I felt like she missed that. You got a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
You don't play
and
with
that. I hate that ending too, by the way. I hate that ambiguous ending. Yeah. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. I did too. Because I was just like, she left me with a cliffhanger mystery. Who do I believe? Who do I not believe? I don't really see you do. Yeah, I was
like, don't leave it on me. Don't leave it on me to figure out.
Right. A fucking liar. Like, is she a liar? Is she not a liar? And then you leave me with a cliffhanger? Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Pick your poison, Lisa.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. Yeah. So yeah, it was a 3. And yeah, that's all I have.
That's all I got too.
I love how we could talk this through.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's like there was a lot of serious stuff in this book. It was dark.
It was
dark
very.
book.
You know what? You're right. That's a good term to use. It was very dark. And that subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, if you're gonna play with this subject matter, do it right.
I mean, honestly, I was kind of okay with her killing her husband.
I had no problem.
Okay with it. I was okay with it because he was a pedophile. I was okay with it.
To sit there and watch him have a heart attack, and I didn't flinch.
And then she go beat him while he's having a heart attack.
I didn't. I'm sorry, but I didn't flinch.
This being back 30 years later.
You know who had flinched at? Her daughter. I didn't flinch at Walter. Now, one time, yes, she killed him. Yes, she's a murderer. But I didn't flinch. I was just like, oh, okay.
I mean, it's like that movie, The Burning Bed. Have you ever seen that with Farrah Fawcett? I mean, hell yeah, that was straight up murder. But you know what? He deserved it.
Give him the shoulder shrug like you gave me when I asked you at 55%.
Deserved it. I'll never forget that movie.
No.
I swear, I saw that movie when I was so young, and it has been seared into my brain.
Mm-hmm. And the other movie is Jennifer Lopez with the husband that abused her. Mm-hmm. Which one was that? I can't remember, but that's another.
I know what it was called, but it's escaping me right now.
Yeah, but that's another one between those two. And she practiced. Yes, and she beat his ass. I was like, love it.
It's exactly what you deserve.
Love it.
So, I mean, I feel like, and again, like, she didn't really treat that character. She didn't give the character quite the right treatment, I don't think. I don't know what she was aiming for. Did she want us to feel sorry for her or not?
Yeah, I think that was the part, because if you're going to have this child was a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And
you cross the line and then you try to kill your child. Like, what?
Yeah. And, right. And it was hard to feel sorry for Josie because of all the lies that was told from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at one point you're just
Alex.
Like, is he a pedophile? But it was blaringly obvious that he was a pedophile because of the age difference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, those are facts. You can't lie about that.
Exactly. So
that was a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, those are. So yeah, I'm glad that we got through that, because, like I said, like you said at the beginning, we were kind of like, ooh, where are we at? But after we talked it through, it was like, this is it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. We are done. We are
Finito.
done. Let's see. What is next? We're going to tell you guys what's next real fast. It's, why am I it's escaping my memory. I just got finished talking
Is it
about
Drowning by TJ
Yes.
somebody?
Yes, it is. As soon as you said it, it popped up for me. Drowning by TJ Newman. So that is our May buddy read thriller / mystery. I don't know if this is going to be another thriller, not so mystery. I don't know.
I know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's on a plane. So yeah, that should be fun.
I know. Makes you weary
Yeah.
about travel, but
I mean, I was going to read another plane book when I was on the plane, but I ended up being so exhausted I didn't do it.
Right? It's like, that's all I need is be.
Look, I was going to risk it. I was going to risk it
Risk
all.
it
Let
all.
me read this book. And instead I slept. I'm like, I'm tired.
That's a good choice. Just to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, y'all, we are done. Are we done, Classy?
Yes, we are done.
Oh,
this was a
long
man. It had a lot. Like you said, it had a lot to unpack, and I cannot wait to get to book club to kind of hear everybody's thought. I can't wait to see that poll. So I hope you bring that to book club.
Yes. So answer the poll, y'all.
Yeah.
It's been.
Are you going to post it on book club too?
Oh, I guess I could.
Yeah, please.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that after the book club meeting.
Okay.
And then we'll bring it up in an after show after that next month. So yeah, we are going to end things there. If you're still listening to the sound of my voice, I appreciate you for listening to the entire episode. It's been a good one. We look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, take care of yourselves. Bye, guys. Did you enjoy today's episode? If so, please head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave a positive 5-star review. It's a simple action that makes a big difference. You can also like this episode on your favorite podcast player or share it with your fellow bookworm friends on social media. Joining the Shelf Addiction Patreon family is another way to support us. For as little as $2 a month, you can help our team create even more amazing bookish content. If Patreon isn't your thing, consider becoming a supporter on the Spreaker app for just $5 a month and gain access to exclusive audio-only content. You can find me everywhere, including Instagram, X, and TikTok under the handle Shelf Addiction. Join our book club of the same name on the book club's website and app, where we discuss all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. Thanks for tuning in.